Healthcare employees are at the front lines of battling the COVID-19 outbreak. Hear from some employees on how they are adapting to the rapid change in their facilities. But hospitals aren't the only places being affected. Employees at major businesses are adjusting to government and company expectations. Hear how it is affecting them. News at Noon starts right now. Many healthcare workers are adapting to the changes while battling COVID-19. Good afternoon, I'm Bryan. News at Noon reporter Claire Geary talked with two nurses fighting on the front lines.
There are 3.8 million nurses according to AACN Nursing, some of whom are working on the front lines fighting and treating COVID-19 here in Cleveland, Ohio. Julie Bodie, a respiratory therapist in the neonatal intensive care unit at University Hospitals, and spouse Pierre Moreau, a nurse anesthetist at the Cleveland Clinic, work daily with patients needing treatment with ventilators and masks. However, it is more of an ethical challenge for the NICU and operating room.
The dilemma comes that if because of COVID-19, our ventilators are depleted and we don't have any, and a mother should come in and have babies that are premature and need to go on a ventilator, then we won't have any supplies to give them.
The ventilators used in the NICU are different from those in the OR, but as resources dwindle, they can both be pulled for general use.
Potentially will be utilized as ICU nurses instead of anesthesia providers. So we'll be using those anesthesia machines as ventilators in the ORs to help people out.
They are just two of the many who are fighting COVID-19 each day. Reporting for News at Noon, I'm Claire Geary from Avon Lake, Ohio.
While many are cooped up in their homes, remember, there are those who leave every day to fight the virus on the front lines. Thank you, Claire. University hospitals will roll out an app next week that promotes social distancing. The app is called Doctella and allows doctors to monitor patients remotely. The app is connected to finger sensors that connects a patient's oxygen levels, saturation rate, and respiration rate. All of these are measures used for patients with COVID-19. The information is then sent back to the doctor. With the new stay-at-home order given earlier this week, members of the workforce are tasked with adjusting to meet state and company expectations. News at Noon reporter Samantha Weinrod went to KeyBank headquarters to see how large company employees are making these adjustments.
Early this year, the thousands of employees at KeyBank had no idea what to expect when word of the coronavirus came out. But now with the new state regulations, the company had to make unprecedented changes to their everyday work life.
Very much different. We are told to stay away from people. You had to keep your distance. You canceled all your meetings. Less and less people have been showing up in the office.
A normal workday used to consist of commuting to the office, daily meetings in the conference room, and water cooler talk. But now, day-to-day life looks much different.
It is very challenging at the moment because you got to pinpoint where everybody's at. Our team is in 3 locations. You're either working at home, working in our main office, or you're working at our disaster recovery center.
As of Tuesday, every employee has to work remotely to follow a stay-at-home order. So the format of everyday communication is changing.
I think our meeting schedule is going to go down a little bit just because of what's going on. Until we get adapt to the current environment, how things are, we can't really have scheduled meetings all the time.
KeyBank employees have become accustomed to walking to one another's desk to communicate. But now it takes twice as long to get work done because of spotty internet, missed calls, and glitches in technology. But they're trying to keep things as normal as possible. For News at Noon from Cleveland, Ohio, I'm Samantha Weinrod.
For the safety and health of employees and clients, KeyBank has closed all branch lobbies. However, drive-thrus and online appointments are still available. Early Wednesday morning, the U.S. Senate approved the biggest emergency bill in American history. The $2 trillion bill will help individuals. The package will give adults a direct one-time payment of $1,200 and children $500. Portions of the money will be used for unemployment insurance and to help small businesses with payroll. The rest will be used for bailing out big businesses and funding hospitals. The OHSA is expected to give updates on how winter and spring sports will be handled later today. All winter sports tournaments were postponed on March 12th, Last week, OHSAA left open the possibility of resuming the tournaments for boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and ice hockey. But Commissioner Jerry Snodgrass said those windows are closing fast. Spring sports practices can begin as early as April 6th, with games beginning on April 11th. But with school cancellations piling up, those plans could change if school closures are extended. All sporting events around the country, including baseball, have been canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic. For thousands of high school seniors, this means missing out on their last year on the ball field. News at Noon's Ryan Moreland shows us the impact of an empty baseball diamond.
Spring normally announces the start of baseball season. However, America's pastime won't be played much this season thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many high school seniors, like Ian Eggleston, are missing out on their last chance to play baseball.
I mean, it's really disappointing because probably won't be able to play, organized baseball again. So, and I feel like, you build up to this for all 4 years, and then it's kind of disappointing when you can't play.
Eggleston, who plays second base, put in a lot of hard work to get prepared for his senior year. His head coach, Phil Carr, talked about the preparation Eggleston went through.
He put a lot of time in last summer playing our Legion team that I coach in the summer. He spent from May to early August playing 3 or 4 days a week and, to get ready for this season. And, didn't happen.
Thousands of baseball fields around the country will remain empty. Northern Garrett High School's field, where Eggleston plays, is no exception.
As of right now, the season is not canceled. However, Coach Carr did say that if the state extends the school closures any further, a baseball season would be unlikely. On Wednesday, the state of Maryland did announce that they will extend those school closures until April 26th. With News at Noon from Accident, Maryland, I'm Ryan Moreland.
Thanks, Ryan. Major and minor league baseball teams should be gearing up for opening day, but COVID-19 has thrown a curveball in those plans. According to the Cleveland Plain Dealer, the Akron Rubber Ducks offices are now remote and will reassess their plans on April 6th. This comes after the Cleveland Indians' announcement that they will pay their minor league clubs a $400 weekly stipend for 2 weeks. Springtime is met with good weather and the final time for some senior athletes to showcase their talent. With schools closed and athletic events canceled, some may not be able to. News at Noon reporter Brad Walker tells us why this might not only affect the present, but also the future.
A senior track season can be vital for somebody that's on the verge of getting a scholarship. And with the recent suspension of all spring sports by the OHSAA because of COVID-19, it could be the difference if they'll be on the track next year or sitting and watching from the stands.
It's really rough because me personally, I excelled in cross country and track. I had my best seasons my senior year.
Seniors may also miss the most important part of the recruiting process, getting to know the college and the current athletes who go there.
It's really what makes or breaks the experience. We at Walsh, if we know the recruits are thinking about going D1 or thinking about going farther away, we have to sell the experience of Walsh.
The spring season isn't as important for other sports, like football, because a majority of the official visits come during the summer. Tyler Adams, who plays football at Harvard, says the current situation makes the future a little uncertain.
The biggest thing right now is kind of the up in the air with what's going to happen this summer.
He says colleges normally don't make an offer for you until you work out for them in person.
I know right now we have tentative camp dates, but depending on kind of how this all plays out is going to depend on whether or not we can bring guys in.
From high schoolers trying to get a scholarship to colleges trying to recruit athletes, COVID-19 is having an historic impact on the recruiting process and the athletes' futures. Reporting for News at Noon in Louisville, Ohio, I'm Brad Walker.
Thanks, Brad. Since students are no longer on campus, the University of Pittsburgh has decided to use one of its dormitories for housing hospital employees. Lothrop Hall has an adjoining skybridge to UPMC Presbyterian Hospital. The residence hall can house over 700 residents. A university spokesman said to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that Lothrop Hall will serve as no-cost convenient housing for area healthcare workers, and all rooms had been cleaned and sanitized. The entrance to art galleries may be locked down in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, but the spirit of creativity lives on for artists in the community. News at Noon reporter Paige Miller shows us how a gallery in her hometown is sharing that spirit.
Studio B, located in Boyertown, Pennsylvania, is a gathering place for artists and writers to collaborate and exhibit their work. Since that collaboration can't happen in person now, they are offering a virtual space for any artist to post the art they create in response to COVID-19.
And if getting their work up on, Facebook and Instagram at a time when we can't really have an exhibit where we pack 300 people in our teeny tiny gallery and have a party. It's going to be a while till we can do that, so we have to find something else to keep ourselves going.
Though Studio B's exhibits may be postponed, virtual communities help art reach wider audiences that may not be inspired otherwise.
I'm seeing Facebook pages pop up where people are maybe singing 3 songs and, posting them, and those are also local artists as well, but they're musicians. So, that's the sort of stuff I'm really enjoying looking at, things that are happening in my community I can't get to.
Though the intention of Studio B is not to sell pieces, virtual artwork may help artists promote themselves and even sell original work thanks to the changes made during the coronavirus pandemic. Reporting for News at Noon from Boyertown, Pennsylvania, I'm Paige Miller.
The coronavirus allows for artists in isolation to do what they do best, adapt. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's stay-at-home order has put a pause on all social gatherings, but teachers in Canal Fulton found a way to still have some fun. On Monday, local teachers hopped in their cars and cruised around the school district to wave to their students. The group of 60 cars were met with a lot of smiles, signs, and waves. That's all for today's newscast. Be sure to check out next Thursday's newscast for continued coverage from your area. Have a good day, and most importantly, stay safe.